People should understand that it doesn't matter the system of government that you have. Power is always 100% of the time from the people, is derived from the people. Anything that any government does, they do with the permission of the people. And you give the permission by your actions and your inactions. That is it. Go and ask the people that brought this, our previous systems of government in Africa, in different kingdoms of Africa. It's the people, monarchy people, parliamentary people, presidential people. Even communism cannot work until people give their power willingly to the communist government. Every dictatorship entered into power against the backdrop of shares of the people. When they got into power, they consolidated power, destroyed people who can organize people. You get it, that's it. But for Nigeria, the reason why I said that so that we can take responsibility. You understand that, not point outside. You can, there are people that have power, there are people that have different influence. You do influence. The only thing will happen, go ahead. I used to tell people, these CDs, CDs are not just for collecting levy, to fix guts, to do security, to pay security man. Those CDs, they are fundamentally units of governance. They are the building blocks of governance after the house, after the home, which is a unit of governance. The next thing is the CDAs. They are units of governance. That's what people that know officer. That is one of the great conspiracy. The people that brought in the modern states to us are sold the idea. They sold it also to their people, but also it's one of the great conspiracies. There are not only three arms of governance. There might be three arms of government, but there are not three arms of governance. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? There are four arms of governance. Remember I have been saying that power comes from the people, the authority, the legitimacy of government. How does it come? It comes from the people. That's why no matter how corrupt a government is, they need to hold a sham election. They need to hold a sham election to guarantee their legitimacy. And how is this election organized? People are organized into wards, into polling units. And you get what I'm trying to say? And then they come together and then they give their stuff and it can be done later and stuff like that. But it doesn't just end there. Governance continues afterwards. And that's one thing that was not sold to us together with these modern states that we had. The fourth arm of governance, and the most important, is the people or the plebiscite. Are you get what I'm trying to say? Let me put it into practical terms. All our CDAs, they are not just, they are all units of governance. Everybody in an urban center in Nigeria belongs to a CDA, either an estate or a collection of streets and stuff like that. A CDA. There's no house that does not belong to a CDA. Landlords Tenants Association. Those systems, they are all units of governance. In a rural area, village committees, where you have all the heads of all the houses come together under their king or their oba or their obon or whatever it is. And you get what I'm trying to say. These are units of governance. That is where decisions are supposed to be made. And then collated together, you all come together. A collection of CDAs form a ward. And there's supposed to be a counselor that is supposed to be interacting with you. How many times have you interacted with the counselors? Nobody. Even the counselor itself is even an arm of the government. They're supposed to be like a prefect in the ward, whose work it is to collate a consensus of information from all the CDAs in that ward, collate it together and put it into a formal document and send it to the councillor, oh yeah, this is what we want, go. The councillor is not there to go and do whatever he wants to do. He is there to execute. The moment you realize that he is no longer in some other country, in America they call them councilmen, we will call them councillors. If he is not doing exactly what is in that place, and if you call him immediately and remove him and put another person. See, that is where it goes wrong. You get it? From wards, you have local government. There's supposed to be another prefect. Sure, you get it? The head of the plebiscite in that local government, who is a collection of all the prefects of all the wards. Sure, you get it? Every CDA has their CDA chairman. You get it? These are not government roles. These are, it's not paid. Absolutely volunteer. Your own work is to collect information and pass it on to the next. All the prefect of the local government will meet with all the stuff. They will discuss the different information that all the different prefects of all the wards have brought in. You get what I'm trying to. After they get it, they will then again what they want to speak. What is the real new go? Sure, you get it? So if 5 wards are looking for power, having problem with power, you get it, and then 6 wards are looking for to pay their role, and these are to collect it together. And so okay, and then order it in terms of priority, whatever anyhow they want to do. I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about. It's done individually. And you get that? That is the 4th arm of governance. The 4th arm of governance, you get my friends, is the plebiscite, and that is where it is when they collect that information. That is what the government will now take. The representatives, the councillors will now take and go come together and form policies for the local government that the chairman will now execute. That job will just come and sit down there and just be doing things for one godfather. That's not it. It's because our democratic system, our structure, our state structure is fundamentally flawed. Are you getting me? Because our state, our system is fundamentally flawed. That is why we are having the problems we are having today. That is why government seems to be disconnected. This is the vital connection of the people to the government. And it's non-existent. And the funny thing is that if there's no person that is living in Nigeria that does not belong to a CDA or a village. So the structure is already there, but people don't know that that is a unit of governance. That is why they do the tax something. You ask yourself, so people are just frustrated. They don't have a way to channel their anger. You get it? Show these people what are you recommend? How do you fix this problem? How do we start to fix this problem? Because if we do not fix the problem of this country, when a critical mass, I should tell you, it's with mathematical certainty that there's going to come a time that something will happen in this country that will destroy the structure of this Nigeria as we do it. It's with mathematical accuracy. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. You see, in every society, we have the government, we have the state. You get it? The state is defined by the economics. Simple. What there's no is the economics that defines the state. Who collects money? Who collects resources? Simple. That's what the state is there for. That is the only reason that the state exists, for the economics. Every other thing is defined by society, by people and stuff like that. Anything that goes beyond that is not. That's why it is always ineffective. Can't be. I don't want to go into all this stuff and everything. The government, the state exists for the sake of, and the government is there to regulate, to manage, to govern with these institutions that have been put together, agreed upon by the people in their constitution and stuff like that. Are you getting what I'm saying? The constitution is basically how resources are supposed to be shared, the rules that govern. That's why you have some states that are capitalist states. There are some states that are more capitalist than the other. There are some taxes, all those things and everything. That is what the purpose of the states. And you know, like what we have right now, when the government has gone, governments have started expanding itself. Because people now realize that people in an inefficient place like this, people are now the source of power, is by going into government. So the government starts becoming bloated, becoming big. It's not producing anything, but it's taking money. And the more it becomes bigger, people start, because the money is not coming from, it's money that is produced in the economy. And you get what I'm trying to say. Also, when the state goes bankrupt, you get what I'm trying to say, the state, it will collapse. When there's no money in that state again, there's nothing there again. You understand? I shall don't go into that. You understand? Once that happens, once the government starts taking more money from the economy, people are no longer supported. The state is no longer capable of supporting a lot of people. So people start dropping into the poverty level, which is the society. Society does everything is what is natural. Are you get what I'm trying to say? So people that are struggling and are not able to meet their basic necessities, that they'll have to start resorting to different means, crime, illegal things that are considered illegal. That's why I told you it's about the economics. You get it? When I say illegal, so for example, somebody goes into prostitution, it's just to make money, but the state is not supported by the state. It's considered illegal. It's not an illegal means or an approved means of making money for you to be able to use to meet your needs. And you get your money is a medium of exchange, one of the most important medium of exchange that you use to exchange for house clothes, food. Those are the main things. Go. The reason why we're working on this for all those things. I don't want to go into that and everything. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Something like that. Some things are considered illegal. Kidnapping is considered illegal. Crime is considered illegal. Some things are considered illegal. And you cannot. So when a large number of people are beginning to resort to all these other things that are easy to come by, touting, for example, you get it, stuff like that. When you say a lot of people are just saying that they don't have food to eat, yes, even of course, I won't say begging is just, it means that they use. It's not. You get the people begging this and that and that. Once a critical mass of people fall away, are no longer capable of being supported by the state again. You get what I'm trying to say? The people that are in the poverty level, when they realize that, look, this state is just existing to benefit a few, there's no incentive for them to support the state, because the state itself exists in the mind. There's nothing like Nigeria. You get it? There's no thing. Like, you can't pick something. That's in Nigeria. Nigeria is a concept, it's an idea. And that's one thing that these guys don't seem to get. Nigeria is an idea. America is an idea. It does not exist in anywhere. What exists is me, that I'm talking, and my wife, my children, my siblings, my friends, my neighbors, my enemies. Those are the things that exist. Individuals and the relationships that you have. That is the only thing that exists. Every other thing is made up. The government is a made up concept. Nigeria, the state, is a made up concept. People just come together and agree that, okay, for whatsoever reason, it is in our best interest to let this state called Nigeria. That's why Nigeria is made up of laws. Constitution of Nigeria is made up Nigeria. Are you get what I'm trying to say? We just look at the constitution and say, okay, we agree that these rules will govern us, and then this stuff and everything, we'll call it Nigeria. And you get that, and then we'll create a government that will now be administering these laws, these rules and regulations. You get it? What I usually put it, I said, look, people and the relationship, that's what is called society. That is the only thing that really matters. That is the foundation of everything that we're talking about. You get what I'm trying to say? And there are three core systems. The social-cultural system that defines how people do things. Culture is basically how you do things, what you consider to right and wrong. Are you get what I'm trying to say? So the culture and the people, you get it, that relationship, that is the only real substance. You get what I'm trying to say? That is the main thing. Go. You get, and there are three, like I said, core systems that define the people. Then the second thing, because we are social animals. Are you get what I'm trying to say? We are like gorillas, we are like chimpanzees, we are like lions. We stand a better chance of surviving in the world by forming social units, social constructs. You get what I'm trying to say? So there are three things that now define that community, because anytime we live stuff and come together, we now form a society. And you get what I'm trying to say? So when individuals come together, two or more people form a society. And you get that? That's the definition of a society. And every society is defined by three systems. The social cultural system has different things that are considered right or wrong. The second thing is the socio-economic system of structures of that society. That's why all those that have cultural, socio-economic. Socio-economic is basically because for us to live on this earth, we need resources. Once you are alone, you are sovereign. You can use anything. You can kill another person. That's why a lion, that's why a tiger can kill anything on this universe, even another tiger, in order to survive. It's not infringing on law. As if you are staying on your own, you don't belong to any society. You can kill anything, do anything, use any resources, human, animal, food, non-living, to survive. You are not but when you choose to belong to a community, you get what I'm trying to say? You are not giving rules, because you are not in close proximity with other human beings, like of course for most societies. You get it? You can't kill another human being and take his resources. You can't kill another human being and eat the person. And you get what I'm trying to say? However, we can go outside and kill other animals. We can plant, can have farms. You can go outside and get wild, collect wild fruits and stuff like that, and if you can use any of all those things, they are allowed. Also, I talked about prostitution that time, is what is not allowed and stuff like that. And you get that terms. So that is the socio-economic system. The second thing that defines a society. Then the third thing is actually the power structure, because once you have a group of people, there has to be order. For there to be order, there has to be power structure. That is the last thing that defines the people. You get the power structure, the social political system. And you get what I'm trying to say? That is now determining, if there is conflict, because most of the thing that determines conflict, culture is what we all agree. But when it comes to the economics, for example now, I go outside and I kill a lion, I shoot a lion, you get it, and then the lion ran and died in a boundary between our territory and the neighboring territory. And if that stays for up to 20 minutes, you get it, the other people, they will smell it and then come and pick it and take it for themselves. If they do that, for me to be able to take it, there has to be war. Are you getting that? But another person from my own community, from my own society, now goes and sees it and takes it. Now, when that is not how you get killed. Like, that's how you don't take a lion. You have to shoot a lion and kill it. It's my bullet that is in the body of that lion. And then, but this guy has taken it. By taking it, if he had not taken it, another person would have taken it. And he get what I'm trying to say. So he was also adding value to that lion. And then he brings it. Man, I said, that is the lion that I killed. That's my bullet and stuff like that. That's the point. The thing was there, like nobody didn't claim it. And so who owns this stuff? They have to now take it to somebody who has authority. And you gonna have to now deliberate based on the culture, based on our socio-economic system that is defined by our culture. If it's a warrior society and everything, then the guy that shot it is considered over the other person that you're speaking. You get it, because it's one that used stuff. If it is a society that is more, so they have to now balance. If it's some other society, to divide it into two. To get out the organ, for you to be able to get, you need to get half of the lion. The other person needs to get half of the lion, because both of you. So if it was if you had killed the lion and then he came and then took it when we were going to go and pick it, then it belongs to you. But after you understand, and that is the social political system. Now, where does state come into play? When I say Nigeria does not exist, it only exists in the mind. Once a society becomes large enough, because you realize that as a people, once we are organized, once we have defined our socio-economic system, defined our socio-political system, and we have a well-defined socio-cultural system, more and more people start coming, it becomes stable. You get it? Once there are conflicts about resources, there is more easily arbitrated or settled, because we have very strong socio-economic systems. And you get what I'm trying, that clearly defines how many of all these small issues can happen and everything. You get, so more as it becomes more stable, more people will start talking into journey. As it becomes bigger, that's how societies grow. That's how society starts taking over another big one in society. When you become big, you need more land. Once that land comes, starts encroaching into the other people's land, other people's lands and everything. So you go to that place, either you take them over or make them enter into your society. So as you get more land, you go, you conquer them, you absorb them into your place, your society becomes even bigger and on and on. Once society becomes bigger, we needed to create a formalized system. You get what I'm trying to say? Because when we're 300, when we're 30, 40, you see, for us to have that deadline and come and meet our chief for him to, because everybody knows the chief, so everybody knows his house. But when we are now 300 and 3,000, you get on that, just like what happened, the Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, told Moses. If you will wear yourself out, one chief can no longer handle everything. You now need to have a structure. And you get on trends. Now that structure, you now codify those your laws, the rules. That was exactly what Moses did. And you get, when you codify the rules, yet socio-economic rules that govern your society, once you codify it, you get it. The collection, the body of those socio-economic rules and regulations that govern how resources are gotten, owned, distributed in your society, collection of that rules, those rules that is what makes the state. The body of laws, that's what makes the state. So once the man says, okay, these are the rules, if that scenario that came happen, this is what happened. If you want to own a cassava, you have to plant the cassava. But if you have you have sheep, you take your sheep, you go and sell it, you get something called money, and then you go and buy a yam from somebody that has planted more yams. That is how you own a yam. These are the different ways that you can own the house. After you have defined all those things in a large stock, you now put them either into writing, or it now becomes a body of laws or customs. And you get what I'm trying to say? And then now I want a group of people. And you get what I'm trying to say? Now that body of law, that is what you can now give it a name. That is what now becomes the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's made up of laws that govern the socio-economic activities of people within that vicinity. All the other things that are considered allowed or illegal, that is what makes a state. And then the group of people, that chief will now need to get a group of people, because he can't judge everything, he can't administer everything. And you get what I'm trying to say? So when they now starts getting different things and stuff like that, and coming together, the different people that he brought in to help him administer these laws, that is what forms the government. That is where government comes out. And you get what I'm trying to say? So it is the society itself. The state does not. It's a concept. This concept called Nigeria only exists in our head, because we believe that, okay, there are laws. That's why you cannot make laws without consulting the people. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? All authority, there's nothing, there's a concept that I notice that most people they do, because we are all born into this big, huge society called Nigeria, Ghana, America, Ethiopia, UK. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Because we were born into that. So in our mind, we came and we saw people, certain people were in government, certain people were rich, certain people were poor. So we came in to see that thing. So that concept, so it now look like those guys that are administering, they don't own that are administering the power belongs to them. So most people may not associate government with the owner, as if the government is what that owns the society, that we are all subservient to the government. Whatever they don't start to do their work. We will just be going. No, that's not how it works. Power goes up. And you get a lot of So when the modern states, because this that I'm telling you, these are all ancient, that's how human beings, how we grew. You get from individual multi-gradal groups and how we grew into societies. That is rules, that's what. This modern iteration of states that I'm talking about in Nigeria, is the modern nation state. It's called the nation state. It started becoming a lot popular in the 19th century. Maybe I'm trying to, So whether it is by design, because I don't know whether it is just this giant conspiracy, or I don't know what it is. Sure, you get it. So they isolated another social cultural element and the society stuff. And then they made it look like, okay, the state is just made up of, okay, the government is one and stuff like that. So we have 3 arms of government and stuff like that. So the 3 arms of government, the legislature, the executive and stuff. Okay, yeah, let's do it. When the laws that the judiciary, they used to judge, who makes the laws? The legislature. Okay, the laws that the executive, they used to run the country, because you have to run the country based on laws. And you get what I'm trying to say? Those laws, what are they made of? Who made those laws? The legislature. Okay, so now from what you said, laws are supposed to be meant to regulate our socio-economic systems. So those socio-economic systems, they are supposed to be things that who then determines what laws are good and what laws are not good. Who then gives is it that the Nigeria that are the ultimate untouchables in the government? If you just enter that place, they are monarchies. Who then tells them what are the laws? There's supposed to be a fourth arm of governance that then collates the collective interests of the people. Because when we now became a larger organization with larger bodies called nation states, large in excess of 1 million, 2 million, a large number of people, there now has to be, what is the system for bringing the general aspirations, the general cultural aspirations of all the individual people, the people stuff, and bringing it together. Okay, so these are the things that we consider, that we accept to be the rules that govern how we interact with one another. We are go put them into laws so that the judiciary can have what to judge. So if I take somebody's lion that was shot, are you getting what I'm trying to say? Then the judiciary will take from that law and then judge, right? If the executive wants to create a boundary, they will use from that law and say any lion that dies in a particular place belongs to us. So if somebody from outside comes into our space and takes it, the person has stolen our lion. But if that lion was able to struggle and get into their territory, it belongs to them. If you want to take it, it has to be through diplomacy. You get what I'm trying to say? Stuff like that. Who then give the legislator? Is the people. So how do the people get these laws to the legislature? It's not clearly defined. That is the foundation of all our problem in Nigeria. That's the foundation of our problem. And until we fix that problem, we will continue to have this problem, because the major problem that we have right now is that we have a government that has gone rogue on us. The government now feels that they have all the power. The government now controls all the power, levels of power. And people don't seem to know how to rein in on the government, how to check the government. The government has enough power to bribe itself. Money that was generated by the economy, are you getting what I'm trying to say? By the states, which is made up of the economy, the economic class. You get what I'm trying? They now have enough money to be able to bribe every single member or buy every single member in the government class, so that the government is something called, that's why there's something called state capture. You get what I'm trying to say? So everybody, every arm of government is now complicit in this thing. Even some aspects of society that was supposed to be ours have then been taken over. Things like the media. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? They just extra money to just buy all those ones and everything, so that information is not the one that they're, so the ones like social media, and then they are trying to see how to use their power to regulate, so we cannot talk to ourselves. But I am saying we don't even need social media to talk to ourselves, because you can see your neighbor. You belong, you live somewhere. You don't even need social media. Social media is just 10 or 15 years. The age of social media is not more than 10 years old. This thing that I'm saying, there are things that have existed from the beginning of time. In the modern nation state, it started in 1800s. That was when it started. Modern nation state in many places in Europe. And then 1950s, 1960s, many places in Africa, some other parts of the world. So it predates social media. So social media is going to be needed. This is active governance. So to go back to our original project, we are supposed to use this whole tax fiasco that is happening, right, to start organizing ourselves, and that quickly. I use that on Thursday. So we will not go and call all everybody work. I don't need to spell it out. You already know. You organize yourselves. You belong to a CDA. Start we have a CDA. You got things like your road, your gutter, your this and that are supposed to be things that are supposed to have been put together by different CDAs and then taken to the wards, to your councillor that is overseeing a ward. Also plays more than one word, more than one council in the ward. So yeah, we'll go and tell the executive chairman, who is the one that is has the power of execution. We need to put drainage in our streets. We need to put stuff, and then they will put it into their stuff. If they don't do that, if it is very urgent, if they don't do that, if they say if you do that, we are going to remove him. That's why there's the stuff. And if you don't, if you cancel, if you don't do that, and then if you don't do that, we will remove you first. The council, in order to save this job, councilman, the council, in order to save the job, go and put pressure on the chairman. If the chairman does not have money, go and meet the state government. I leave the contract. And that's from that local government, that is how it cascades upward. Are you get what I'm trying to say? You have representative that manages a couple of local governments. Are you get what I'm trying to say? At that level, also, you organize the plebeian people so that for every level of government, you have one person whose work is not to make friends with the government official in charge. You get it? But to collect your information and have easy access to be speed dial. That person should be answerable to him. Are you getting my point? The government official, the House of the Assembly person, is supposed to be answerable to the commensurate person to him. He is the one who the House of Assembly is the one that has the power of government. They are the ones that can do things. This one has the power of collating information. Say this is what we want. So if a state government now says that, okay, they want to pass a particular law, and you get what I'm trying to say, then man will tell them, say, okay, well, this law that you are passing in, they want to pass it so that we start legitimizing the importation, remove, start bringing in cheap gari from so please. But in this our own local government, we are the major producers of gari in the whole of the state. If you start doing that and everything, you will fuck our own gari. You get what I'm trying to say? So you have to make laws that will support the economy, the gari economy in this our place. You get what I'm trying to say? Because that is what the economy is of the source of money for most of us in this place. And you get what I'm trying to say? So when that House of Assembly person goes to that place, the only thing that he goes to go and do beg is to go and start fighting for gari interest, the interest of gari, because he knows that his own election is dependent on satisfying those gari economy. Because the main people, 60% of the people in his own constituency, they use gari as a source of livelihood. You get what I'm trying to say? So any state government policy that wants to spoil the production of gari, the guy will fight with his life, because he knows that if he loses that fight, he's going home. And you get what I'm trying to say? That's how it works. Even in an ideal system concept, it's supposed to be one of the gari producers that will be elected as the House of Assembly representative. Because when he goes to that place and he's fighting for his own head too. Because if he knows that if he loses the gari battle, it will affect the gari economy and he will lose his source of livelihood. Under an ideal system. But right now, we don't have an ideal system. That is how we are supposed to continue. House of Assembly, House of Representative is the next level. That is the one that is at the federal. So if we want to start doing things in the federal, from the House of Representatives, organize ourselves, also have the representative. It's just the same thing. All the people together, you don't say, have you done your organize? everybody up to the senator, up to the states, there's supposed to be a state prefect, plebeian prefect, plebeian leader, people's leader. He's not being paid a dime. It's all volunteer. You are not doing any work. You are fighting for your own head. Everybody collects information and gives upward. That's how it works. Are you gonna get everybody collects and gives upward? Why they give upward and everything and continue? You take that information. You say you have authority to walk into the governor's office at any. If the day the governor says that you cannot enter his office, that's anarchy. That government becomes illegitimate. You get my point? Because that government house belongs to the people. You get what I'm trying to say? And because everybody, the whole 5 million people that are in that state cannot enter into the government house once. You get it? That's why you are collecting the information to enter. You don't need. You can summon the governor for a meeting. Of course, under certain rules and stuff like that. But he has the rights of government. He's the one that has the power, money to be able to do stuff and everything. It's just like in a company, a normal standard company. You get it? The chairman cannot come and call the CEO. And CEO is you get our chance. Some people will say that that was what the parliament was supposed to be for. The legislature was supposed to be for. Yes, on that ideal situation, that's what it was supposed to be for. You get what I'm trying to say, but in this situation, we now know that the government can actually do. There has to be a check on the legislature. So there has to be an organized system for the legislature to be given what to do, what to say. And you get what I'm trying to say. So anytime that you want to get things done, while the person at the governor's level can have a meeting with the governor, you get what I'm trying to say. If you want to get things done at the state level, you pass through the state's governmental structure. You get what I'm trying to say. Every time your own representative wants to make a law, you get it. They have to come and hear from you first, get the talk with their own person. This is what they are stuff and everything. They don't bring their input. Sometimes they take that information, take it down. Sometimes the representative, House of Assembly member, for example, will have a meeting, maybe with all the ward level representative, or maybe with all the CDA level representative. All of that, they'll get that information and go to their CDAs and discuss, okay, cities, this is what these people they said, and then what do you guys think? This is our answer, this is our answer, and stuff like that. Are you get what I'm trying to say? That's how it's supposed to be organized. And then you take it and then you use it to create laws that will now the governor now start using to execute. And you get what I'm trying to say? At every level of representation, and you get what I'm trying to say? At every level of representation, whether it is House of Assembly, House of Councillors level, House of Representatives, Senate level, we have to organize ourselves. The people have to organize and have a coordinated system of informing. You get it? Like I said, with these laws, this kind of stuff, we are supposed to now organize ourselves. Go and look at the people in your representative, House of Representatives. At that level, we come together, form the stuff, send a letter from that person. You get it? Remember, see the word House of Assembly, House of Representatives. And you get what I'm trying to say. So the House of Representatives will come together. All of you write a letter to that person. Send a letter to your own person. Say, oh yeah, come here. We are so many. Come and explain to us whether you talked with us. That tax bill that you passed. Come and explain to us what it means, and come and tell us how it benefits us. Because, like I told you, the purpose of the government is to implement, to execute the laws. The laws are basically a codification of the rules and regulations that govern the economy, how resources. When I mean resources, not necessarily money, but your house, clothing, shelter, information, education, all those things that you use to live, how they are supposed to be lived. Money is basically a means of exchange to be able to efficiently exchange all these things. Access to money, and you get all kinds and stuff like that. You tell them now stuff like that. So the tax directly affects you because it affects the amount of money that is in your hand. You will now call him, let him come. Did you talk to us before you went to vote? First of all, what did you vote? Did you vote yes or no? If he says, yeah, I voted no, I voted yes, and say, okay, that's very good. That's you did your watching yes. Why did you vote yes? Come and explain to us what is the benefits. You will tell them, look, in this our local, in this your constituency, this your federal constituency, you have 5 local governments. Out of that 5 local governments, 2 of them, they are agrarian. You get it? They are made up of farmers. How does that law that you went to go and vote for, how does it affect farmers? How does it help farmers to be more profitable? How does it make us put more money in our pocket so that we can send our children to school? How does it give us more money so that we can afford to buy food, buy clothing, rent a house? Come and explain to us. That's how everybody's supposed to call it. Of that representative. But when you're organized, you call them to your house. Call them, let them leave that they are chamber that they are doing there. When they come together, they can do whatever. Isolate everybody. Let them come and explain to you. At least everybody in the SOC cannot go. Everybody from the CDA level come together. Come and go to their place or go to your central place, a hall. And you get what I'm trying to say. Go to your hall. That is what all this will go. That's why you have city hall. That's what city hall is meant for. Even in many of all these things, they don't even have all those systems, all these structures organized. That's it. Now they're telling us that when they were teaching us things about government in secondary school, I say pressure. What is pressure group? The time that we had pressure group, things like NLC, that everybody was using it to do stuff and that. This is practical thing. Information flow back and forth, and then you call him. You voted yes. Okay, why did you vote yes? How does that feel yes? How does it affect us? Or is it that you are voting yes because you feel? Because at that point in time, those people that are sitting down there, at that place you can sit down, you can find a quorum that can recall him immediately. When I mean recall, I'm not saying recall, I mean strip him of his power immediately in that place. And you get what I'm trying to say. All you guys say, what is the result of this stuff? This person doesn't know what he's doing. You don't get common sense. So you go vote for a law where they say he will destroy us. Where I want to take money come out of our pockets without giving us anything in return and everything. So we have already gathered together and said, okay, he's not fit for this stuff and everything. So what do you think? We want to carry the fund that they are needing to recall. Come and think today. Immediately. It's not going to be like all this one that they do recall fiasco. That's how government is supposed to be run. So the representative, you will not go back and go and say, that law, please, that you have passed, please, we need to repeal the law. Because you don't repeal that law, my people in my house, they will recall me. Now, you will start putting pressure, come and tell the guy, see, I've told them that they should repeal that law. That law, let them suspend it, let them come and do more consultation with the people. Because you want to take tax from the people. You cannot tax the people. It's a no taxation without representation. When the state the government has been disconnected from the people, representation do not have anymore. When you have representatives that are just there to just do what the executive says, and you get up to this, you can do whatever you want to. You can collect whatever you want to collect, but it has to be based on you have to derive your legitimacy from the people. We need to there has to be a system that forms representative. We need to have a government. So when you as a president or as a governor, once you are now doing in that kind of system, you now know what you're supposed to do. Comment for these people, in fairness to them, they don't know. Because they don't have any way of knowing what is in our minds. They just look at social media and get matrices from social media, and now and guess these are the different. That's why it's easy for many of them. The many of them go to that place with good intentions, but the system is designed in such a way that it's so difficult, almost sacrificial for you to be able to do the right, because there's no system that supports them. There are many governors, there are many presidents, there are many House of Assembly members. I know a couple of people in the House now in this particular government, both at the state and the level, and the federal level. And many of them I know them personally. A couple of them I've seen that they are good people. That's people, what I mean, conscientious people that when you engage them, they have deep-seated convictions. But when you see them go to that place and everything, you're not seeing anything. Say, but this guy is because they don't even. If there's not a system for them to know, then they want to make a decision. We want to, and it will be easy to make our transition more orderly. We won't have to start fighting, because look, I have to tell people it's just a matter of time. Once the government continues to take away from the economy consistently, it's with mathematical accuracy, a time is going to come that a critical mass of people will not be supported by the state. When that number reaches, you just need a trigger. Anything can trigger it. Anything can trigger it. Anything. What triggered answers? It was wrong time. They killed somebody that's alone. Wrong time. Enter Lagos streets. Say no, enough of the police protests. What the thing? It's of end SARS and back governance. That was just a single trigger. It can be election results. It can be like in Nepal. Somebody, one young boy just came out and started talking. And that was it. The whole country erupted. The whole country. One whole country from a young boy. I see how he speech. He was talking. The whole country, because he was already pent up anger. He was already there. Just like when you have room saturated with fuel fumes. It doesn't matter. It can be stone. You can burn your whole house with stone. You know that stone stuff. You just do it like this. You just need a spark. You get what I'm trying to say? It can be anything. It can be a misstep. Something just triggers and then boom. And you get what I'm trying to say? And with all these things this move that this government is doing, they are taking more money. The more money you take away from the economy to feed yourselves, people are falling. It has practical reasons. The amount of money in the economy, the amount of resources in the economy is fixed. And you get what I'm trying to say? It's not infinite. So when you want to do a tax, you say, okay, you want to do tax, you want to use tax to war chest for your election. You get it? If, as you are collecting that money away from people, a lot of people are falling into poverty. Once a critical mass stuff, you might win the election or really be able to govern. I was telling my siblings there, I said, look, a time is going to come that when the Nigerians stand up and protest, I said, once the way I did it, I said, when that time comes and everything, all this will happen. All of that, what was there, they were telling me, he said, no, Nigeria is just a different country, it's made differently. I was just looking at them. He said, Nigeria cannot protest. Nigeria cannot protest. Nigeria just looking. No, Nigeria cannot. You see, you go there, some of you are the most miserable and happiest people. I told them, I said, I've looked at history long enough. The most docile people, they are the most dangerous. So far, you are a human being that has gastric juice in your belly and everything, you can protest. Once hunger don't beat people, I used to tell them, I said, look, the greatest philosophers, the greatest revolutionaries in this world, they are not, it's not Montesquieu, it's not Vladimir Lenin, it's not Karl Marx. Those are not the greatest revolutionaries in this world. Is hunger. Once people are hungry, they will revolt. I used to tell people, they didn't believe. I said the day that a Nigerian will slap police and then the police will say, sorry sir. We won't be able to bring that his whatever do grand. will slap the police because the guy who just wants to leave that place and put out his police uniform. Say the day that happened, that is when you are going to know that the concept of a state like Nigeria does not exist. It only exists based on the agreement of people. Once people say we don't want again, that is the end. When I was saying that, they didn't believe. Once answers happened, I said, this is what I was telling you about. This is just a taste of it. And I'll get some predictions later. Now, when I say any prediction, my sister will go, okay, that should not take my word as God, as law. I said, because it is the truth. You know what? I've read history. Nigeria is not quarter as docile and as superstitious as the French people before the French Revolution. They were the whole world. Western Europe had already been modernizing, they've been industrializing and stuff like that. France was still stitched in the past. It was still stitched in the past. When they were going to revolt, they slaughtered people. It was a massacre. It was one of the bloodiest revolutions in Europe. They killed people. They call their priests, they killed the priests, killed the monarchy, finish all of them and everything. Nobody was safe. Anybody could go. Their head. The people that survived just by even the what's his name? The Napoleon Bonaparte that came. That was the result of the whole thing. The reason why he survived was because it was not even him. It was not. First of all, it was not even. It was not even the country, because anybody, if it was the country, he was subject. Anything can happen. They can just say that Napoleon Bonaparte is against because they had different versions of the revolution. You get it? The Great Terror, the Terror, the White Terror, the Purple Terror, the Green, different things. Just give it different names, Sharp Terror, and stuff like that. You get that? They can just say that one person, even the people that did the revolution, because there's one of the worst period was the Great Terror. I don't want to sign many names, and maybe one guy like that, she get it. He came in. You understand? The people that did the revolution together with him to out the more moderate people that started the revolution and was cutting the head of the initial people, that they came together and fought all those ones. People say all the people that gathered together to cut all their heads finish. At the end of the day of his head, they cut his head too. He cut people's head. They were cutting. No neighbor. Like if I see that neighbor and I see in white, I like that wife, I want marry, I'll just go to the stuff. And if he realizes that I like to work, both of us will go. The first person to reach the local government say this person is against the revolution. Now the first person to talk, and that person will carry his second person head, cut his head, go carry his wife. If the person will be say get wife, reach there first and everything, go talk at the world, cut the wife, keep your wife for house. That was how terrible it was. It was horrible. Imagine it in that kind of society. Like, I just be in your house like this with your family and everything. You don't know that maybe you were walking and you know greet like this. Oh my God! I say you greet me, no, you pass, you know greet me. You pass, you know, maybe you didn't see him because I think we big everybody. Maybe when you were greeting him and everything, you now came from our street. I just enter like this now. You didn't turn on time. You didn't see him. And then say, so this guy is passing with me. He just instead for him to go to the service, he just first whole branch. He said, no one person. So you there for your house, they hold hands and bread. Also believe in economics for your house. They say you are against the revolution and everything. I say, oh, come, put your head, come out without any child. It was that bad. Nobody wants to stay in that kind of a society. You get what I'm trying to say? This was the docile France. That everybody were revolting. But today they didn't revolt. We were good people. And you get what I'm trying to say? Everybody, a time is going to come when there's a critical mass of people that they cannot support their basic necessities. They cannot eat, they cannot drink. There are 10 key basic necessities that I highlighted and stuff like that. Documented. Eat, feed. They cannot send their children to school. The basic technologies they don't have access to. They cannot have access to car, lights, internet, all those things and everything, phone, all those stuff, all those basic necessities. When they realize that they cannot put that stuff and everything, they become disenfranchised. You now have a potential soldier in the state. It starts coming. Sometimes it is even the number that is the trigger, because there are certain people that are charismatic and you know. Once they fall into the stuff, they feel that they cannot fall, and then they fall into the stuff. They become angry. The anger of those people like that are charismatic can be the trigger sometimes. You understand? There are some people like that. You start seeing people like this Niger Delta agitators and everything. Everybody was agitated. When certain people started becoming angry, it didn't turn into something else. You get options. I just feel that it's so if there's any government official, any government person, I'll advise, do the right thing. I'm not expecting people to be altruistic. Yes, okay, because nobody does that. Nobody ever does that. What I'm saying, many of you guys, you don't get enough money that will last you in many lifetimes. Look at the French. I give an example as the English monarchy and the Russian monarchy or other monarchies. The reason why the English still existed today and the Russian is gone, the Germans is gone, is because they knew where to let go of power. They were not holding on to power too much. The English Revolution started before many of all these guys started. What they were doing, they were gradually letting go of power. It was only one of their kings, or one or two kings, that did grab. One of them, his head went for it. And you get what I'm saying? But all the other ones, they were just letting go of power. I was looking at it, I didn't know the particular time when the power ceased to be vested in crown and was not vested in parliament. It was a gradual process. Initially, they said, okay, it was the crown that was appointing the prime minister. You get it from the House of Lords. Later, the House of Lords that still had some allegiance to the crown. After that House of Commons. They were just letting go, let up until president that they are not just figureheads. Are you get what I'm trying to say? You are figureheads, but you are still the king of England. They are still worth billions of pounds. They still have their manors. They still have their castles. They are still living the life. You get what I'm trying to say? They work all those things. God, whether let you or let me, I don't want to talk about that. It's not my business. She get all those things that they have. They still have it. They are still living. But what about the Kaiser of Germany? You get it. Where is his crown now? He doesn't have. Nobody knows who his current successor is. What about the last Tsar of Russia? His head went. What about the Tsar of the king of the emperor of also on the grand part? Nobody knows. What about the Ottoman? Once you know when to hand this to the people that are in government as advice, once the time for handing over power comes, if you know, try your best. You can do everything that within the bounds of the law. If you lose, just hand over. Because if you continue to hold on to power, to perpetuate yourself against the Lord, it's just a matter of time. It will catch everybody. I'm just saying, I'm a mathematician, I'm an economist. I've done the maths. I don't know the specific number. It differs for different societies. But once it continues, revolution is predictable. How is it going to happen? Nobody knows. If anybody comes and says that nobody knows, that is in the absolute preserve of God Almighty. Nobody knows how it's going to happen. What is going to be the trigger? Nobody knows except God. But when what is going to happen, we can tell you that I'll work with that to the crunch numbers. It's with mathematics that is just a matter of time, and we are gradually getting close to that. You can sense it. Just like Jesus Christ said, you cannot know when the Son of Man will come, but there are signs it's coming. You can sense it, you can see it. Things that are happening. The number of people that are coming poor. What is the nature of the economy? The economy is beginning to struggle and stuff like that. The affluent class, that was what happened in France. France, there were three different laws for different people. We had the clergy class. Those ones, they were the one collecting all the tithes, the monarchy and everything. Then they had the nobility and the kings and everybody. And then they had the peasants. They had different laws. Everybody was collecting tithe and tax from the people. The government tithe, that's how religious they were. That's why I said they were more religious than Nigeria. Nigeria never thought to be religious. Then they say, Nigerians we know religious religious people. No religious religious people. As in tithe was a law. Once you earn 10% must go to the church. It's a law. Then you now come and tax. Different people, the king will crown tax. Then you come and different municipal, different lords. Once the people were working, they were not seeing the food that we ate and stuff like that. It was bread that sparked the French Revolution. Bread. What caused the Arab Spring? That's why I used to tell people. I say, look, the greatest revolution is hunger. Once hunger don't beat a critical mass of people, when they go outside, they see food there outside. Just like because Revelation said, they said like scarcity without that is not caused by the climate, by the weather. You get, you know, hot the wine, you get it, but the cost of wheat, the cost of barley is expensive, and you get what I'm trying to say. But don't hurt the natural sources of where these things are produced. And you get my point. Man-made scarcity. You understand what I'm trying to say? When that started to happen, people, when they go outside, the first people in the French Revolution, the first people that they started killing, is bakers. They said they were hoarding bread. They were the first people that they started killing. I'm trying to say that when anything happen, now food. Because that's the most basic. People can still survive when they already have more clothes to wear. But when the time comes where food no dey, there's nothing that can move the people. And that woman, once you get to that point, you cannot give them food. Once the French Revolution, I don't know if people have heard of it, when they say they told the queen then, I've forgotten her name, Sheikh, I remember her name, but it's not important. When they told the queen then of the king of King Louis XVI, I think it's 16 or so, she get it. They told his wife, you get it, that okay, people are protesting outside. So why are they protesting? What's happening? Because she could not imagine, like, people protesting, there's food everywhere. What's happening? What is that problem? It's not the just like problem. That's from many people in government. If you don't know, things are happening, things they happen for street to go anyway, that there's social media now. All those that are happening, when people they come, they talk, they beg, they go for food, or just 2K. You know, say that so is real, but let's do that. When they told her, you understand, people are hungry. People are protesting. Why? Because they are hungry. Let's say, give them brioche. Brioche, they call it cake. So people call it cake, but it's a type of bread. You know, I don't know if you know what is bread. When you don't go this shop right, bread. Let's say if you break up, because France, you know, say they know that this their bread there, you know, like this. When they use plenty butter, but even that would be like cake bread. Now bread, but for the high class, when you say there's the in between bread and cake, nobody know the difference. So it's called brioche. It's different from bread. The word for bread. So when they now the nobility now came and told us that people are protesting, say why? Because they are hungry, they need bread. Say give them they are brioche. Say give them bread. Now we became a famous word. They are brioche. Say give them bread now. Give them brioche now. People, the nobility that they understand the street and everything, now like, she can't stupid talk things and everything. Give them brioche. Forget brioche. Because I don't give them. It now became a thing. People are not talking. Was not a poster. That was not the cautionary tale. You get it. As what people see when they say somebody has been detached from reality and stuff like that. Give them brioche and everything. Her head went away. They cut her head come out. And you get that straight. When the time come where they say people when there's no food and stuff like that, there's nothing that can't make a people with food more than that. And for the people, that's for the government. You get it. When the time comes, don't fight. You don't the money where you get, do like inch, monarch, and aristocracy. When the time comes, move on. Don't hold on to power too much. Take your money where you don't get. Because whether we like it or not, this one I wanted to pitch for. It's better to have a bad government than to have a good government. All these governments, as bad as they are, the money where they don't get, take some of it. The other one will just continue. Because holding on to power for some time and stuff like that. Just you, once you don't, just with the power where they say, oh, they want to take it, they want to convert to government. So move on. I ain't get a credit. Move on. See Obasanjo. They move all over the place now. Statesman. You don't stay 8 years plus 3 years, 2.5 years, 10 years for government and everything. If you can try to say, take your power and just move on. If the people are beginning to agitate for power, you cannot win that war. You can never win that war. And you get that chance. That's my word. And for the people, especially the people that have voice, start talking to people where they talk, or start organizing yourself. It's not difficult. Against, even before the election, this tax issue will start with it. It's a good place to start. You get what I'm trying to say? Once the people are properly organized, they can suspend the election. They can suspend it. That is where absolute power comes into play. Are you get what I'm trying to say? Because once you organize that way, every single member of the House and Senate, you have control over them. You get what I'm trying to say? Also, when you tell them if they don't accept anything, you record them. Now, every senator is there from your own. You are the one that contribute them. You get what I'm trying to the center, to the state capital. You get it now. You get it. Organize yourself. You get it. Articulate. You have every place. You have intellect. People will be so good at articulate what you want to say. And you get what I'm trying to say. Take it back. Articulate it. After you articulated it, you get it. Call them. Okay, this is what we want to argue. Come and answer this question. These are the things that we want and everything. Have you done anything to alleviate our problem? This tax, how is this tax going to help us? Ask them that question. Let people start answering that question. If a critical mass of Nigerians are able to organize themselves, call their representative, will come and ask questions. This is not APC, PDP. Let us this whole party politics and this parallel politics that we should stop that nonsense. Stop that, because it is that will stop it. Because I'm talking about the elites now. Because whether you like it or not, if you get money to have maybe like 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million followers and stuff like that for social media, you are elite. You are not the elite in the government, but you are an economic elite. Are you get what I'm trying to say? You are an economic elite. You are an economic elite. Are you get what I'm trying to say? Whether you like it or not, whether you accept or not, you are. So far you can talk to people, you can have immediate influence. That's your responsibility. Because once the thing goes to shit, they will think say you rich. You know. We all know. Say everybody was. You get what I'm trying to say? Oh, but these guys say they stay for street, go say they don't fit get them more liquid. Parcel of one and they stay for Lekki, they stay for Ekate. You get what I'm trying to say? They stay for Olu, they stay for the big highbrow areas for different states and stuff like that. They get more money pass one. You know, you just the drive car, you just get money at one time to buy car. You get what I'm trying to say? And stuff like that. You get it? But when the shit comes to stuff like now, you and the target, or say and they chop the money together. No, say you chop shit. And you get out. If all those people for government they won't come meet you, so I made a consolidate power. No answer. For your head's sake, or for your children's sake, I'm advising you. If anyone wants to, I can go back to act. It has happened before. Nigeria is not different. Nigeria is not the most docile. It's not the least docile. Nigeria is just there. Once hunger beat a critical number of people will enter streets. Once people realize that if they go street and everything, if they go for a house, they will stand there, they look, they drive your Toyota Corolla, where you say buy it for third hand, they drive that street and everything, where they will live under hudson. But when they enter street after they protest, they'll feel go meet you with that Toyota, where you say just come up for a place to go, just go repair the carburetor and everything. When you just come up with you, they will feel come meet you, carry that key for your hand, nobody will talk to you and everything, when they protest and everything. That's the end. Everybody will enter street. That's your house, well, that's your TV, they will carry out. You don't forget what happened during answers. They enter Shogotedo, ShopRite for Shogotedo. Actors and stuff like anybody talk. Before that, so any one of them will feel get mind, they go enter that place. They even go price the TV. They carry TV, carry chair, carry everything. Anybody stop them. The governments, the states, it's a made-up concept. It's in our head. It is that made-up concept. That's what is giving you the right to own those properties that you own. If you don't fight for it and everything, once things go to shit, like I told you, I don't know the day, I don't know the time. It's mathematical accuracy that I'm telling you that it will happen. It's just a matter of time. Once resources keeps leaving the state, keeps leaving the economy, people are becoming poor, more and more people are becoming poor. Once the critical mass reaches, a trigger is just all that is needed. I don't know whether we'll reach the critical mass as we are talking like this, so I don't know. Because this that I've been saying it for close to 10 years. You get what I'm trying to say. So I don't know when the critical mass will happen. I don't know. I don't have that information. I'm just a regular person. And you get what I'm trying to say. and stuff like that. If I realize that there's a need and then I'll explain myself more, break it down for people so that people can understand. What to do is not difficult. Call these people to order. So our government needs to be called. Our government has gone rogue. And no longer fit for purpose. We need to call them, but we need to cause. That's what is happening. In a way, in an organized way. That's what Donald Trump is doing. He was not part of the government political class. I do get what I'm trying to say. He was part of the economic class. It was when he saw the wahala that is going on. The guy is fighting for his head and for his family. The reason why he's not this thing for America. They are hating. When he finishes, when he succeeds, and I guess America will still be in one piece. You get it? All those money that he has, that Trump organization will still be existing. If America collapses today and everything, Trump organization is gone, his children, they will have to the hustle. The guy is fighting for himself. He's fighting for his children. You get it? It's just that the American society, their interests aligns with you. It's a revolution that the guy is doing right now. Nobody is killing anybody. Nobody is there's no war, there's no stuff, but it's a revolution that is happening in America. Something like that can happen in our country. Do something. What is enough for the boys? I'm not get ready to talk again. I'm not get ready to offer. This is what I have. This information. Look, something is happening. Something is happening and we need to do something about it.
Thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, send us an email or DM. Thank you very much.